Dawson's Rambles.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here. It's time for our breakdown of our first Power Rangers Dino Fury proper teaser trailer. And this one is really revolutionary. This time when they said new Zords and gear, they put the word Savage and Dino in front of it. In all seriousness, this is basically the same generic template we've gotten for years where they're like, even more new gear and Zords and pep, and it's like all the same boilerplate stuff. It's like almost something they just click and drag into a template. The most exciting thing is we get some shots of actual original footage, as anything we've gotten previously has just been kind of, you know, title cards and Sentai footage, including stuff from TV Neon subs. So the only dialogue in it, I mean, other than the Rangers going, ha, Dino Power and stuff, is like the voiceover saying an ancient evil has been on Earth, which I assume they're talking about Void Knight. When I first watched it, I'm like, wait, I thought they were from space. But then I remember from the descriptions, I guess, because Void Knight's been on Earth, so I guess they can reuse that soundbite if they want to. We get a little look at Boom Tower. He cackles a little bit, which has me worried because it sounds like that classic Neo Saban era villain voice where like 99.9% of the villains all sound like this. I'm like, dude, you're not scary. You just sound like a dude named Melvin. Sorry to all Melvins. Some look at some of the other big monsters. There's a shot at one point of the Creon equivalent, who might be called Sporix, or at least one of the Sporix monsters getting jellied. You know, they advertise the gear and armor. They show off the armored on thing a couple times. They show off the morph. You see the three Rangers morphing in there. It looks to be the same, basically the same as the Ryu Soldier one. And they talk about the Zords, like I said, Savage new Zords, and it shows off the Zords. And then they show off the Megazord, and I feel like they did this in the really early super teaser trailer. They show off the Five Nights combo in that one for showing it off, which is kind of interesting. I mean, they kind of always use later stuff, which I'll talk about in a second here. You get a shot of them going, it's morphin' time. Original. And then as far as like actual anything new to talk about as far as original footage, like I said, there's some original footage mixed in there. There's the morph thing. There's a cool explosion shot with the three Rangers, and I like the different colored explosions there. But we get a look at the fact that we are doing another original cockpit this year, which looks like the same generic cockpit template. Like, it almost looks like they just redecorated the Dino Charge one. It's not that exciting. I mean, Ryu Soldiers wasn't that exciting. It was kind of unique with the mirror one, but I don't know necessarily why they changed it. Some people think it's because Green's a girl, but they're also going to be using other footage, presumably Ryusol Green, when it's not a girl, so I don't think that matters so much. Like, as of this picture, or pictures, there's no cockpit mode, but that doesn't necessarily mean there might not be one down the road, just because, you know, Dino Charge did have one appear later. We don't know, but as of right now, no cockpit mode. We have an original, boring cockpit. I thought the most exciting footage was actually a couple shots of some fight scenes in the base. It shows a couple different of the Rangers fighting the, looks like the putties in the base. And that looks cool. Like, I don't know whether the villains are going to break in an early episode or if it's just some sort of training exercise, but that's neat. And then the only other thing I wanted to note is, like, near the end of the trailer, they do show a spoilery shot. I'm using this a lot in this video, but a spoilery shot of, like, from way near the end of Ryu Soldier, or at least in the later half, where they show, like, all the armors, you know, Max Ryusol Red, and the other Rangers are in the more power-up armors instead of the arm armors, and then, like, pretty much all the mecha behind him. And I only say that just because, you know, I don't think that means necessarily we'll get those in the first half. You never know. It's not unheard of for Power Rangers to mess around with the order of things, so it's not impossible we could see some of those things in the first season or the first year or whatever, but also it's probably just because they wanted to pull cool looking images for the trailer. You know, that's happened before in a lot of the early teasers. Well, they'll have footage from later episodes just for, you know, the sake of having cool looking footage. I mean, these people used TV Neon footage, so I don't think that necessarily means anything, but I just find it funny that they use something from so later in the series where it's like, look, here's literally every new thing except maybe Ryusol Brown that's gonna happen in the series, especially when people will all of a sudden get bent out of shape by, like, Power Rangers spoilers, when it's like, someone will post what the back of the Red Ranger box says, and they're like, I can't believe you spoiled it. Now let's look at all those Kamen Rider and Sentai scans that have big information on them. Overall, nothing too exciting. Pretty much what we expected. Advertising the generic Zords and gear and stuff, a couple shots of original footage. The original footage always looks clean, which is nice, but, you know, as I said in my previous videos, I'm not excited, I'm not mad, I'm just done. I'll be more than happy for this to surprise me and be amazing, but I'm just ready to move on. I mean, I'm at least looking forward to having new Power Rangers to talk about, but I'm kind of numb to the whole series right now, just in terms of an excitement level. But what do you guys think? Are you excited for Dino Fury? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you can hear my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.